to another 10-Bip Live. We are here. We are live. We are alive. I am finally here. Sorry for the delay. I was having a little bit of a technical problem. Shocker. I know. What a surprise. How could we have predicted such a thing? We couldn't have. We had what an unprecedented event. But we're here. We've made it. We're back, folks. It's another 10-Bip Live. It's another Thursday. Sugar Kitty's in here somewhere on the YouTube. If you're watching on the Twitch or on the VOD, thank you so much for being here. Hit the like. Follow as well if you haven't done so already by hitting subscribe. And support the show through Snuffy Chats, of course, hitting the Stream Elements link below. Go follow on social media at My Bourbon Pod. And subscribe to the Patreon at patreon.com/MyBourbonPodcast for as little as $1 a month. You get bonus podcasts and early access to the weekly podcast as well. We just crossed 360 episodes this week. Man, there's so much more than that over there on any podcast app that you may go to. But right now, I think I'm kind of talking into the void. Which is fine. It's fine. It happens. It's all good. It's all good. Just happy to be here, folks. Excited to crack open this, and genuinely, this will probably take me a full couple hours to get through this, because holy moly. You know how some of these Goose Island stouts go. They don't exactly go down like a Bud Light, if you know what I'm saying. So we'll get to it in just a bit, but I do need to get my palate warmed up because I have not had anything to drink yet today. It has been a very light week for me in general. I went on a rare character pick on Sunday with a local group, and that knocked me on my tuchus for a solid couple of days. And I really have not had very much in the meantime. So this is kind of my first evening where I will be drinking since Sunday, which is not a bad thing at all. Brewmaster, what's going on? Hey Perry, what's up, everybody? Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're well. Hope you've had a good week. Hope your Thursday has been all right. This week has simultaneously flown by and also felt like a bajillion years. I don't know if anybody else has felt that way, but it's been something else. It has been something else, let me tell you. Where to begin? You know what? I haven't had this guy in a while. It's been kind of sitting there looking at me, so we're going to start with some Ben Holiday Missouri Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Bottled and bond. The old 6-year-old. It's just kind of been hanging around my desk. Not really doing too much. So, figured, why not? Oh, Matt, you got anything you drinking on? There's some people who are trickling in. Let me know what you're drinking. Thank you all so much for being here as well. I do appreciate you. This smells younger than I remember. It smells grainier than I remember. Nothing yet about to grab one? Haven't decided yet. Fair enough. It tastes very cinnamony, too. Jack Daniel's barrel proof or Larceny barrel proof? First of all, why not both? But I am going to say start with, in this case, start with the Larceny. Start with the Larceny and then follow up with the Jack Daniels. That's my own personal opinion. That is indeed a given. Yes. I would say start with the Larceny in this case. It's a weeder, you know? I sir. Any updates I can think of to let you all know about? If you haven't listened to this week's episode, of course, go and check it out. It was a banger. Eric and I reviewed the Jim Beam Winter Reserve, which is somewhere over there. It's too far away for me to, but you know what it is. We also reviewed the just standard 2024 Goose Island Bourbon County Stout, which the more I think about it, I loved, and I cannot wait to try another of. Wow, that really shook my camera. That was crazy. I also had a holiday party for the company that my work contract is through yesterday. It was at Goodwood, which is a brewery, and I need to remember exactly which beer I had because it was so incredibly good, and I want to get it exactly right. Okay, here we go. It's not one of the core beers. It was one of the seasonal. There we go. It was the Nutty by Nature barrel-aged walnut brown. And it came in a 10-ounce kind of a snifter. It might have been a little bit smaller than this snifter is. That's it was a mouthful. Excuse me. Nutty by Nature barrel-aged walnut brown ale. It was only 6.5 ABV. And it may have been that I hadn't really eaten anything yesterday, but it drank like it was 9 or 10%. But there was something about it that was very old-fashioned-y. Like it just reminded me of the complexity of an actual cocktail. I mean, it was fantastic. I'm gonna try to see if I can get, because I don't know if they have them by the can. If they do, I'm gonna try to get it. Goodwood Nutty by Nature. No places. Well, that's in San Francisco. I don't know why. I guess you could only get it. I guess I could only get it in like a growler or something, which I wouldn't mind. I'd be fine with. I mean, it is that good. It is that good of a beer. So, anyway, it's all very much beside the point. I'll be honest with you. This is I don't entirely feel like the Ben Holiday is doing it for me tonight. Second sip was better than the first, but it really was just not quite it. Not quite it, I suppose. My nose is super. Why is my nose so red? I don't know. Interesting. Anyway. So. Oh, it's just a car. Rudolph season? Yeah, it feels like it. It is very cold in Lexington right now. It was just kind of miserable. I mean, you know, Matt. Anyway, I'm very excited to finally get into this beer. It's been sitting in my refrigerator in one capacity or another for, again, basically the past 4 years. I'm gonna go ahead and get it poured up so it has a little bit of time to golly, I always forget how thick these stouts are. So it has a little bit of time to warm up. But I think that this was actually a media bottle. I don't think I bought this one. Because I remember it was around the time that I was also getting just a bunch of Bourbon County Stouts from Goose Island as media bottles. And I don't do it as much anymore. I didn't do any this year. I don't think I did any last year either. I might be able to still reach out. I think I talked about this on the podcast recently. But this is, like I said, from 2020. So it's been sitting around, aging in the bottle. This is the Weller 12 Stout. It was aged for 2 years in Weller 12 barrels. They say these age for up to 5 years, and I've had some that have been sitting for that long. And I don't think I've talked about this on a live stream yet, but a few weeks back, I was already having a rough evening. And I went to my beer fridge back here, which you can't really see. It's behind the couch that is over my left shoulder. And I went to go, Pat, Mr. Bourbon Noob himself, what is going on, my friend? I hope you're doing well. It's been a minute since you've been in here, but it's good to see you. I missed you, man. Hope you're doing well. But I was getting into my beer fridge to get a beer out, It was going to be a Bourbon County Stout. I wasn't going to get the Weller 12. I hadn't quite made up my mind what it was going to be. But I noticed some clanging and clinging and knocking around. And out of my fridge fell a Knob Creek barrel-aged Bourbon County Stout from 2019 that I had been saving to crack open. And yeah, it fell out of the fridge, shattered, and it's just gone. You know, I mean, of course it's gone. There's no way I could have saved it, but so I've been I've been a little heartbroken. I did not lick it off the floor, Matt. I considered it, but it put me in a worse mood after it happened, and I resolved myself to drinking through some of these that I have had for a while, and so it's one of the reasons that I decided I needed to crack this open and finally do something with it, and that something is make content. So here we are 4 years later, finally. Okay. Getting marketing emails at 7:30 at night, which is fine. See what they say. As you can see, it's nice and dark. Basically completely black, which is fine. It's got that insane richness. I mean, it really does. That a Bourbon County Stout is want to have. These Imperial Stouts. I'm so excited to get into this. So I'm just gonna say, cheers, y'all. Drink them while you got them. Is the moral of tonight's stream. That is one of the softest Bourbon County Stouts I have ever had. It is so gentle. It is immediately, I am realizing, going to be a problem. At 15.2% ABV. Now, I don't know. Somebody let me know. Whether it's right now or afterwards, because I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time typing on a keyboard. After a beer is bottled, and it's like these stouts, they sit in the bottle for so long. Will the ABV change at all? I don't think so. I feel like that's an easy question to answer. But I am curious. I'd say the answer is probably an easy no. But I'm just... It's not every day you get to enjoy it. Yeah, that's probably it. Do you keep your aging beers in the fridge or out? Andrew West, first of all, what's up? Second of all, it depends on where I am and what the situation is. When I was at my old house, the best place to store my aging beers was in my fridge. because the other option was leaving them outside of the fridge, which was in a garage, which was not insulated, which means it would just get super hot and then super cold. And I didn't have, like, to Pat's point, I didn't really have a closet where they would fit either at that house. So they just kind of had to go in that fridge. Highly doubt the ABV changes with beer and aging. I figured, Bill, but I wanted to ask also. Good to see you, buddy. Anyway, ideally though, Emily Chambers, what's going on? Everybody's popping in all of a sudden. Good to see you, friend. The point though is that I would ideally, like, under appropriate circumstances, like in a truly, like, climate controlled area, I would rather have them. Patrick started a trend indeed. I would rather have them sit outside of a fridge in just kind of room temperature until I'm ready to put them in the fridge. I think, I don't know. That to me seems more ideal. I don't think there's any science to it at all. But at the very least, that seems what would be the most appropriate method, in my mind. Had to knock a little bit of the poison off the top, I think. Because some of the more stouty flavors are starting to come through. Mine stay out until they're next on the list for drinking? Yes. That's how I am now, Pat. But I mean, you know, like I said, up until we were in this house, that was not so much the game plan. If you have a basement, store them there. As long as it's not too hot and the temps don't fluctuate too much, you should be fine. Light is the enemy of beer, exactly. I'm nothing if not appropriate. There we go. Andrew, we all know you. Sunlight, yes. More clearly. So naturally, it's not This Is My Beer podcast. It is This Is My Bourbon podcast. So you know we're going to pair the Weller 12 beer with the Weller 12. Because why not? And the issue with the basement is there are dumbass teenagers frequenting there. That's fair as well. The good thing about this basement is that this is my office, and my door has a lock on it with a key, so I can lock out teenagers when the time comes. I don't have to worry about that too much. Lucy and I made that conscious decision when we were building the office wall, so that, because, you know, we knew there was going to be a lot of alcohol down here. We didn't want to have free reign for said teenagers eventually. So we made sure to put a lock on the door. Jeffrey Whack, hello again, whiskey friends. Hello to you, Jeff. Hope you've been well, brother. Of course, Weller 12, 12-year-old wheated bourbon from Buffalo Trace, 90 proof. Same mash bill as the Pappy Van Winkle line, but for cheaper. Did y'all see that daggum Buffalo Trace put out Stag today? Not George T. Stagg, the artist formerly known as Stagg Jr. They put out what? How many bottles? Something like, I mean, it was hundreds of bottles. It was crazy. And at $80 too. I mean, perfect price. Wouldn't have had a problem with it, but, you know, I was in Frankfurt yesterday. If they had done it yesterday, I would have been all over it. But I was not about to drive all the way back to Frankfurt from Lexington. At least nosing the bourbon next to the beer, it knocks off a lot of the sweetness and introduces so much more of these like roasted and toasted notes. It especially brings out a nuttiness that I wasn't picking up on the nose prior. Controversial statement. There is nothing wrong with Weller 12. Interestingly, the pairing okay, first, I feel like I should pour for Food Quig tonight, but dinner first. Who's Food Quig? Did I miss something? Who's Food Quig? Happy National Dingaling Day. Huh? Hi, Don. Okay. Dingaling Day sounds like, first of all, that's the holiday that was established for me, of course. Food Quig. That's a name I haven't heard in years. This feels like I'm being pranked by everybody. Like everybody's all of a sudden in on something that I was not made privy to. We're just going to come in and... Food Quig was OG whiskey tuber with Swami Top Shelf Privy Diet. Oh, I didn't know that. He was one of the original channels. I didn't know that. I'm so sorry to hear that. He'd go live and sit for hours just drinking. That's so sad. I honestly did not know that. It was just the way that y'all came in and started talking about it. I was like, am I being brigaded with a name that I didn't know? I'm very sorry to hear that he passed. That's awful. honestly had never heard of Foodquig before. He went viral. He was recording when his living girl. That was Foodquig? He was recording when his live-in girlfriend left him and moved out. He barely turned around as he was drinking something. He was doing like a Scotch review, right? She said, well, bye, and walked out the door. Yeah. I genuinely did not realize that was who that was. He like just passed, apparently. What's crazy though is that so Trenny and C streamed yesterday with a memorial, and Foodquig just posted 8 days ago. He was from BC? I didn't know that. Yeah, Trini and C. I didn't know Trini and C were Canadian either, actually, for that matter. Just wanted to... Oh, Emily, it's all good. It is all good. That's such a bummer. I'd had no clue. Now I've got to like, aw. That sucks. Yeah, I didn't realize that TNC were also Canadians. But anyway, Emily, thank you for letting us know. Had no idea. He was a good dude. I wish I had I'd gotten to know him. I always kind of assumed, and here's my we're a weird bunch. Brother, we all just drink whiskey on the internet. We're all weird. Here was my assumption about him. And this is just my blind spot because I didn't realize that he was like a real dude. I thought that was just like a sketch or something. I thought that was something that somebody had done as a bit in like an old YouTube video or something. Cuz it's got the lo-fi quality of like kind of old Smosh videos. You know what I mean? Like it very much has like unserious vibes to it. Like how could this happen at all? His girlfriend walking out while he's in the middle of recording. Why would it's so absurd? I want poutine. I made ramen with beef earlier, and that was phenomenal. But yeah, Foodquig. R.I.P. man. That sucks. I did not know. That's one of those things where it's like I didn't know he was one of us. And it bums me out that, like, he could have been part of the gang. Tony, sorry I'm late, Pear Bear. My neighbor fell again, and he won't let his wife call 911, so we have to pick him up. He's damn near 80 and the size of you and I put together, so it's no easy task. Tony? All good, brother. Sorry you had to pick up a grown man. What a night it's been already. I'm just here pairing up Weller 12 and a Weller 12 aged Bourbon County Stout. And it's been a heck of a time so far. Just call 911. His insurance might suck, brother. Ambulance rides are kind of expensive. You could call an Uber. It's cheaper. Now, I like the Weller 12 pairing. But I gots to know. Whoop. Is there a better wheated bourbon pairing? With the wheated bourbon finished beer? Emily, we love you. I want y'all to know how much care for y'all. I want all to know how much care for all y'all early. We love you too. Uber cheaper than a hoist? Ubers are cheaper than the ambulance bill. This is not a hot take, man. This is like, look up in like ambulance costs. Fat fingers, you get the point. Yes, Emily, you're all good. Woo! I'm gonna have to wet that cork. Is that what she said? So I'm gonna try 2 other wheated bourbons. Ambulances are free if they don't drive you anywhere. Otherwise, it's a couple thousand. Exactly. What did I miss? I put a 2022 Goose Island Proprietor batch in the fridge. Ooh. Ambulances, I already read that. So I'm trying 2 other wheated bourbons up against the Weller 12 with the Goose Island Weller 12 finished beer. We're going to start with the Maker's Heart Release. Beep. I'm still seeing these out. I don't know how many different versions of these there are, but I feel like I'm still seeing a bunch of these getting released. I can't be the only one, right? And then also I've got Larceny Barrel Proof C924. The Heart Release is a Secret Santa gift. And a 1792 foolproof store pick. I got one of those over there, too. All right. Now, I don't know if it's because that's decent, right? Oh, absolutely. I split one of those Wellers with a friend whenever it came out. I mean, it's really good. Again, I mean, I've had this sitting for 4 years. What proof is Maker's Heart? Mine is 112 proof. There are others that are like 111.7. Because I know mine is a different proof from Jason's. Bill's just right. Bill's right. He says his heart is 69 proof. That's for you, buddy. I got nothing for you other than a big thumbs up. What a wonderful reaction for I don't know what else to say other than I approve. Fabuloso. All right, let's try it with the heart release. That nose is so sweet. It doesn't quite it doesn't quite affect the nose of the beer in the way that the Weller 12 does. It's kind of bringing out more coconut. $111.7 is what I see. Yeah, mine is... Where'd mine go? I mean, mine is 112. I talked about it when I did the review, whenever that was. Was that before the baby? I think it was. Bill, you're just having a great time is what you're doing. All right. I'm going to ask a very serious question that sounds very unserious. On your beer, what do you prefer? On your beer. On your beer. How much head do you prefer? On your beer. On your beer. How much head do you prefer? I'm going to say it again. On your beer. How much head do you prefer? Clifton misunderstood the question immediately and has been disqualified. Maybe a half inch prevent the that oxidation. Like 1 inch, seeing a lot of 1 inch or less. More than 1 inch is a waste. Yeah. I agree. I'm in the same camp. Anything with like more than an inch of oxidation or more than an inch of head. I've been told, sorry, I just reread, I've been told anything more than an inch is a waist, and it made me giggle. A bartender apologized to me once for giving me a flat draft, and I said without thinking, oh, that's fine. I don't really like head anyway. Gets the carbonation mostly out so I can drink more without feeling bloated. Yes, absolutely. Maybe a tip of the nose thick. That's not too bad. Unless you know. I got kind of a schnoz, man. I'm going to get demonetized. Brother, I'm not even monetized. I'm not monetized. You kidding me? I still am not monetized on YouTube. I have pushed and pushed and pushed. One inch waist. Maybe this is what does it. Could be. This is the stream. This is the stream that gets me monetized, and then immediately this content is what demonetizes. Yeah, the 1,000 subs, like I hit the 1,000 subs, and like that was the thing for a long time, right? And then they started adding in like every other thing, and it's like Tim Bip getting canceled in 2024. Hey. I don't know. Have we done anything to get canceled this year? Probably. I pushed and pushed and pushed. $4,000 watch hours is hard, especially when you rely primarily on a podcast that is a very niche thing. That also, comes out once a week. You don't always do review videos. You don't always do shorts. You don't always have time for all that content. So it is what it is. I don't, I push when it is convenient for me. And when the timing is right and I have the ability to try to make content. I know that's what she said. I realized that after it came out of my mouth. Also, the heart release is not the pairing. It made it weirdly kind of medicinal, oddly enough. I don't want to get into the weeds. Nobody wants to hear me talk too much about inside baseball stuff. If you're at least close, cat bots can help. We'll talk cat, but gotta bail if I don't see y'all. Happy holidays. Bill, have a good holidays if I don't see you as well. I should be live next week. Live next week, off the week after. And then live again after the beginning of the year. Man, I can't believe that we are just 2 weeks away from Christmas. The hard release is not for Perry. The heart... I push and I push and I push and I just can't get that hard release. See, this is the fun thing about when you have, when you're not monetized. You can just say whatever you want. As many innuendos as you want. I watch Hanging with Bill 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for 8,736 hours a year. I didn't realize that's how many hours were in a year. I'll be honest with you. Okay. That's how hemorrhoids happen? It's a lot of shorts. Tony loves watching Bill's shorts. Oh, Sugar Kitty. Then I'm saying so. Hey, whatever needs to happen. Please. I don't, it's not that I don't want to be monetized. Don't get me wrong. Do you know how much it would help? I've been doing this for so long that it would be amazing. I feel like I've worked too hard for it not to happen. You know what I mean? Also, I didn't mean to skip over innuendo. But that's an amazing sentence as well. But Sugar Kitty. Yes, please. All right, I'm going to try the larceny next here. Also, I've got another bottle I'm going to crack before the end of the night. I meant to say that earlier. So don't go nowhere. Man. Yo. Sugar Kitty, that rocks. Thank you so much. I haven't had C924 in forever. This is a great bottle. Innuendo, is that what the dentist said? He said it at 2:30 when I went for my appointment. Man, it brings out so much coconut on the palate. That pairing is crazy. It really transforms the beer. That's wild. How different. I'm gonna have to go back to the 12, the Weller 12 as well, just to see. You know, even after having 2 cask strength bourbons, the Weller 12 still holds up. That age does something, man. You know, as much as I like the larceny pairing with this beer, I don't know if it really makes a difference to me that there is a bourbon pairing to go with this, if that makes sense. Also, this, now that I've come back to the Weller with the Stout, there's a like coffee note on the finish that I was not getting before. I just think that the beer stands on its own so uniquely. That it's almost unnecessary. It's fun and it's nice to have that pairing with it, but it's inconsequential, I guess, one way or another. Yeah, it's not really doing anything one way or another. Not bad, not good, just kind of indifferent, I suppose. So we're not nearly done yet. We just crossed the threshold into the second hour of the stream. And I want to remind you at the top of the hour, too, that if you want to support the show during the live stream, you can do so by heading to the Stream Elements link that is at the top of your chat or in your description below as well. And that is how you can do super chats or tipping as you normally would on YouTube. We call those Snuffy Chats because they support our main man himself, the patron saint of Timbip Live, Mr. Snuffleupagus. He needs to be fed. And also, your dollars go to support what we do here, not just on the live stream, but also throughout the Timbip extended universe. Either way, we appreciate you guys. And Anthony Aturietta wants to remind you all to hit the like button. And I will remind you to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Follow on social media. And subscribe on the Patreon if you haven't done so yet either. Patreon.com/MyBourbonPodcast for as little as $1 a month. For as little as $5 a month, there's bonus content over there that comes out every single week, including early access to the weekly podcast, bonus episodes, early access to barrel picks and merch, stuff like that. We got a new design up on the shop as well. Show it to you guys here. Hang on. Just okay, that's fine. Just okay. There we go. Look at that. Just a nice, fun design, right? It's like the old thank you bags that you get. But it's bourbon themed. You can get it on a shirt. You can get it on, what else? Sweatshirts. Hoodies, tanks, men's and women's. You can also get it on some different prints. You can get it on a blanket. There's different accessories as well. Hats, trucker and baseball caps, other stuff as well. like phone cases. Good stuff. Bourbonshop.threadless.com. So many different designs over there. Still time to get designs for or merch for Christmas as well. Plenty of stuff over there. So head on over to bourbonshop.threadless.com. Check it out. Do it or else I'll leave a big old steaming Grinch in your stocking. Thank you, Tony Joey. All right. We're going to crack this guy. Whoop. It was just sent to us by our friends over at 15 Stars, whom you all know we love, and they have been very kind to us as well. They have sent us what feels like one of every bottle in their product line. And this is one of those that I never thought they would send to us. This is an expensive bottle. I'm going to, just for confirmation. Yeah. This is a $280 bottle of bourbon. That they just wanted to send to us. Blend of 19, 15, and 10-year-old bourbon from Kentucky, Indiana, and Tennessee. It is the Platinum 15 Stars, which I've never had before. And I'm very excited to try. But $300 a bottle. 98 proof. We had Rick and Ricky on the podcast a few months ago at this point. Eric and I interviewed them together. Go check that out if you haven't done so already. This proprietor stout says toasted coconut, bananas, lime, and pineapple juice. She's a tropical gal. Pineapple is very present on the front, one of the lesser sweet overbearing BCS in memory. I've got one of this year's proprietors that was gifted to me that will be sitting for a little while. And I look forward to getting into in a couple of years. It'll be some time. We'll get there eventually. Not quite yet. But I'm not in Chicago. I know. I said somebody else gave it to me. Tony. It's I think you can actually see it. Here, let me use my zoom. See it? Oop. Right back there. You see the blue box? The blue box. That's this year's Proprietor Stout. Somebody gifted it to me. Hang on. It's been a busy day. Goodness gracious, sorry. Man, stop teasing the blind guys. Sorry, Tommy. Sometimes talking with other podcasters is like a pissing contest. I'm not going to air that. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm just annoyed by it. Anyway, I want to try this platinum. This platinum 15 stars. It smells expensive. It smells expensive. Goodness gracious. With a like top note of corn pudding. Interesting. Well, the finish is really nice. It's crazy that there is 19-year-old bourbon in here. It gets a little lost. I'll be very honest. It gets a little bit lost. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe it's in the overall mouthfeel. I mean, it doesn't really, because it's kind of dry, but it doesn't have a very like overly oaky quality to it. It also doesn't really have a massive finish. The finish is kind of on the sweeter side. More of like a snickerdoodle. Crazy for a $300 bourbon. Very interesting. Okay. Well. is what it is. Doodle this? Oh, because I said snickerdoodle. I gotcha. Anyway, I think that's all about all I got for tonight. I'm a little tapped out. My brain's a little. I'm not. I don't know. But anyway, this was fun. I enjoyed opening this beer with y'all here too. Unless y'all got something else you'd like for me to do, I don't know. 8 cat bots have been employed. Make sure in 1 to 2 days your hours are going up by 1 to 50 hours. Yo. All right. Yo, Daphne's. Thanks for being here too. Regardless though, I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for being here. It was a fun night. I love these streams where just kind of more laid back. I would like you to make Papa Ritter a rise. He's still a good, it would be 20 minutes before he would hop on. And I don't know if I have 20 minutes left in me, to be honest with you. So we're going to call it here. I love y'all. I appreciate you. We'll be back next week. Then we'll be off for people say snickerdoodle, and I can only think 100 yards down the road is the M&M Snickers. And then we'll be off for Christmas. And then we'll be back. We'll be back again. But in the meantime, you guys are the best. I love you. Thanks for being here. We'll see you real soon. Until then, though, I'm Perry. This is Tim Bip Live. And you guys. I got nothing. I love you. Toodles.